August 7th, 1942. The first light of dawn breaks over the Pacific Ocean. In the distance, the silhouette of Guadalcanal emerges from the morning mist. Over 19,000 U.S. Marines, their faces set in grim determination, prepare for the first major Allied offensive against the Japanese in the Pacific theater. The invasion fleet, a formidable armada of warships and landing craft, stretches across the horizon. The Marines have trained for months, but nothing could prepare them for what lies ahead. The island is a dense, foreboding jungle, teeming with unseen dangers. As the landing craft churn towards the shore, the men steel themselves against the unknown. What they don't know is that Guadalcanal will soon earn a terrifying nickname, the Island of Death. The Marines land unopposed. The Japanese forces have retreated into the dense jungle, leaving behind an eerily silent beachhead. The air is thick with humidity and the scent of salt water. Lieutenant Colonel Merritt Edson, a veteran of many battles, surveys the terrain. He knows the real fight is yet to come. Japanese snipers lurk in the foliage, and the thick underbrush is a perfect cover for ambushes. As the day progresses, tensions rise. The Marines push inland, securing the airfield known as Henderson Field, a crucial strategic point. But as dusk falls, a sense of unease settles over the troops. They are not just fighting the enemy, but the island itself, with its oppressive heat, relentless insects, and constant threat of malaria. August 9th, 1942. The Battle of Savo Island erupts overnight. Japanese cruisers, under the command of Vice Admiral Gunichi Mikawa, launch a surprise attack on the Allied naval forces. In a matter of hours, 4 Allied cruisers are sunk, and over 1,000 sailors lose their lives. It's a devastating blow. The Japanese have shown their dominance in night battles, a skill honed through rigorous training. As dawn breaks, survivors are pulled from the water, their eyes reflecting the horror of the night. Meanwhile, on Guadalcanal, the Marines brace themselves for a Japanese counterattack, knowing that they are now isolated, cut off from their naval support. August 20th, 1942. Reinforcements arrive as the first wave of U.S. Army troops land on Guadalcanal. Among them is Private First Class John Basilone, whose bravery will soon become legendary. Basilone and his fellow soldiers face a grueling task, holding Henderson Field against relentless Japanese assaults. The airfield is vital for controlling air operations in the region. Japanese bombers and fighters make frequent raids, and the Marines must fend them off with anti-aircraft guns and sheer determination. Supplies are scarce, and every bullet counts. The men dig in, constructing makeshift defenses from sandbags and scrap metal, knowing that the airfield's survival is crucial to the campaign. September 12th, 1942. The Battle of Edson's Ridge begins. Under the cover of darkness, Japanese forces launch a fierce assault on the Marine positions. The sound of gunfire and explosions fills the air. Lieutenant Colonel Edson, commanding the defense, rallies his men. His voice cuts through the chaos, urging them to hold the line at all costs. The Japanese attack in waves, their cries echoing through the night. The Marines, entrenched and outnumbered, fight with everything they have. Edson's Ridge becomes a killing ground, with both sides suffering heavy casualties. But the Marines hold firm, their resolve unshaken. October 13th, 1942. The Japanese launch their largest counteroffensive yet. Over 4,000 troops, supported by artillery and tanks, surge towards Marine lines. The ground shakes with the impact of shells, and the night sky is lit by tracer fire. Sergeant John Basilone becomes a beacon of courage, moving among his men, repairing jammed weapons and supplying ammunition. His actions inspire those around him. For hours, the battle rages on, with the Marines repelling wave after wave of attackers. By dawn, the Japanese retreat, leaving behind a battlefield littered with the fallen. Guadalcanal's defenders are bloodied but unbroken, their sacrifice a testament to their courage. November 1942. The battle for Guadalcanal enters its 4th month. Supplies are running dangerously low. The men are weary, their bodies worn down by combat and disease. Malaria and dysentery take their toll, and the jungle itself seems to conspire against them. Yet morale is bolstered by news of reinforcements and resupply convoys. The arrival of fresh troops and provisions lifts spirits. The Marines dig deeper, fortifying their positions, preparing for the inevitable next assault. Each day is a test of endurance, with victory hanging in the balance, determined by the grit and tenacity of these young soldiers. December 1942. The tide begins to turn. Allied naval and air superiority starts to tip the balance in favor of the beleaguered forces on Guadalcanal. The Japanese, stretched thin and unable to maintain their supply lines, begin to falter. The Marines, bolstered by reinforcements and new equipment, launch counterattacks to push the enemy back. The jungle echoes with the sound of battle, and the air is thick with the acrid smell of gunpowder. Inch by inch, the tide of war shifts. The island's strategic importance cannot be understated. It is a stepping stone for further Allied advances in the Pacific. February 1943. The Japanese begin a strategic withdrawal. After 6 months of brutal combat, Guadalcanal is firmly in Allied hands. The cost has been immense. Over 7,000 Japanese soldiers and 1,600 Americans have perished, with many more wounded. The Marines stand victorious, their faces marked by the strain of their ordeal. For the first time, the Japanese expansion in the Pacific has been halted. The victory at Guadalcanal signals the beginning of a new phase in the Pacific War, one where the Allies will take the offensive. The Island of Death has claimed its toll, but it has also become a symbol of hope and resilience. With the capture of Guadalcanal, the stage is set for the Allied island-hopping campaign, a strategy designed to leapfrog from one stronghold to another, bypassing heavily fortified Japanese positions. This strategy will bring the Allies ever closer to Japan, tightening the noose around the empire's neck. But as the Marines prepare to leave the Island of Death behind, they know the road ahead is fraught with peril. Yet, their victory has ignited a spark, a belief that the tide of war can be turned. Join us next time as we delve into the strategy that would ultimately win the Pacific.